Hi there, this is Miss Wismar coming to you from the BHS Media Center with a little tutorial on how to use NoodleTools. If you have never used NoodleTools before, it's pretty user-friendly, not bad. All you need to know is that if you're in school and you go to, right here, www.noodletools.com, you can click in where it says Current Users Sign In, and you will be brought to this page where it says register or sign in. If you click on any of the links off of the Media Center website or the Media Center Moodle site, those are fine. Actually, the Media Center Moodle site has even more information on how you can access it from home if you have not created an account yet. But not to confuse you, you actually have automatically, it says in this little green bar, you automatically have been authenticated into the Bethel Public Schools subscription, which means that if you're here in school and you press this button where it says create a personal ID, you will very easily be able to create your own account. I know there are a lot of students who made this in their Modern World History class last year, so for those students, I actually have given the information to your teacher so that you can access your account again, and I have reset your password so it's a little bit easier for you to get in. If you've never created one before, you're going to go to that Create a Personal ID and you're going to create a new user registration. You're going to go, I'm a student, choose your school, Bethel High School. This is all pretty self-explanatory. What I do ask you to do, however, is use your student ID number. So for example, like Joe Student, it's the first two letters of his last name plus student ID number. So yours would look somewhat like that, the first two letters of your last name. Same thing you use to log into the computers. You'd be able to create your own password from there, fill in these boxes. So like Joe Student would also be JS, and then say the last four digits of his phone number would be like 8600 like it is here. You can use your cell phone number, whatever it is. This is basically so that you can get your login back if you lose it. I can make sure if you do lose your password, I can get in and reset it. Like I said, I reset those people who already had their accounts. So if you had an account last year, your password is reset to your student ID number. So your personal ID is the first two letters of your last name plus your student ID number. Your password is your student ID number. I'm going to go back to the sign-in page and sign into my account. I just have a silly little dummy account for you guys to look at. And you'll see this is what the dashboard looks like. It says, welcome to me. That's my user ID name. And you can see what I can do is if I'm creating a new project, yours won't have any of this stuff on it. It'll just have this create a new project right here. And I can click on that and choose my citation style, which is MLA Advanced. And I can create a name for it. I could just say, opposing viewpoints, if I spell it correctly, or whatever you want to call this paper, and then just press Create Project. I already did create one, so I'm not going to do that right now, but you would want to remember you are MLA 7th edition advanced since you're in high school, okay? One thing that's nice, if you were using NoodleTools last year, we were not able to do one thing that we can do this year, so I'm going to show you a little thing that changed. But I'm going to open up one of these projects, for example, this opposing viewpoints sample project. I can click into it, and you can see I can put things like my research question, for example, should social networks be blamed for issues such as cyberbullying? I can keep track of my thesis statement, and when I type in there, I just need to remember to press that submit button so that it saves it into its memory. I can also create to-do items. So this is a handy dandy little thing right here. I could say my brainstorming is due for this project maybe on the 22nd. Do we have school that day? No, because that's Thanksgiving. It's due on the 20th. Okay, so I'll just press submit. So you can see it'll create this little to-do list and I can check things off. I also, in this dashboard, which is what it's called the dashboard, I also have, in addition to my research question, my thesis statement, I have these three components. I can work on my works cited right here. This is kind of like, if you've ever used EasyBib or something like that, it helps you to create your own citation list. I can also put my note cards and my outline together, and I can even start my paper in Google Docs, which is very helpful because it keeps everything in one place. Now I'll show you an example that I've worked on a little bit more. And the reason I have this one open is because things have changed this little bit. I want to show you something. If I go, you'll see I'm going to open up this other tab to Moodle. And if I go into the Media Center Moodle site to access right here underneath, I could go under the Pathfinders, but I'm going to go this little shortcut way. You'll see this bulletin board that pops up. If I go to Opposing Viewpoints, which is right here, and I open up that link, you can see what's cool is this year what I can do is say cyberbullying is my topic. Okay, I'm going to open that up. I'm going to find an article about it. And I'm just going to pick one out. Grab this first one so I can show you this example. Last year it was really frustrating because we were not able to copy and paste the actual citations from the bottom of the article. So this is an article from Opposing Viewpoints in Context. You'll see right here. I can scroll to the bottom of the article, and this source citation right here is what I would want. So I can copy. So I can actually, I'll do it this way, copy. And then what I can do is if I'm in my works cited list now, so I'm back into this Opposing Viewpoints sample project, go into the works cited, and what I can actually do now, which is really cool, is I can create a citation for a database like this. And if it comes up, one sec, please wait. You can actually copy and paste something in. So I forget where it is. Let's see. Citing a database. Why is it not giving me this option? Let's see. I am citing a database, but this is not what I wanted. Cancel. You can, maybe it's on the first page. Ha! Let's see. You know what? I'm going to... All right, I found it. It took me a second, but here it is. Okay, so if we go into database and we say create citation and come on, you can see I've copied this from the bottom of there. And what I'm going to do is if NoodleTools will open right now, then I'm going to click into this periodical and say it's coming from a journal. And once I do that, you'll see this little option right here, copy and paste a citation. What I can do now is I can paste in the citation that I just got off the bottom of this article. So what I can do is submit that. And now it will actually appear in my list. So what's cool about that is that now I can associate that citation with something that's in my note cards. So let me show you what I mean by that. All right, so you can see I have this article in my list, and I can do that now this year, which is really cool. But what I can do is I'll go back into my projects and show you if I were in here, my Opposing Viewpoints research paper, which is an older one, and I go into my note cards. This is called the note card table, okay? It is a table. Sometimes things move around. A little warning for you is that sometimes your note cards, you'll put a bunch of them in and then it'll look like this and you'll be like, oh my gosh, where did my note cards go? They just moved down on the page a little bit. They're right here. You can see I have 3 different note cards right here. And something I want you to notice, I'm going to do this real quick so that they're back on the other side, is I can very easily work on my outline. I can press plus, add another topic. My topic will be cyberbullying and education or something like that. And you can see it'll change my outline. I can even print my outline when I'm totally done. What I do suggest people to do is convert the outline to RTF, which is rich text file, and that you'll be able to open up in Word and you'll be able to format a little bit better so it looks better for your teacher. But what's nice is you saw when I create a new note card, it originally appears here, right? Then I drag it onto my table so it appears in here. Then I drag it onto my table. And then in the note card body itself, like this one, this is my introduction, you're going to see I have a quote from an article. I put the source citation here because as of last year we had to put them on the note card itself, but this year I actually don't have to do that. What I can do instead is choose the source out of my pre-made citation list, okay? Then I can also include information about paraphrasing. What I find really helpful is my ideas. This quote is a great lead in for my paper. Okay, so it could be like a hook or something. I can also put the static URL. I find the static URL right here. So again, I'm in opposing viewpoints and context. Right underneath the source citation, you'll find this thing called a document URL. You can again copy this, go back to your note card, put it into this URL field, and paste it here, okay? So what it does is it creates a direct link into things. You can also tag things, put things in different piles and stuff like that. It's actually very helpful when you get used to using this. Now, what you can do now, which is cool, is I can take these note cards that I've created and they have quotes or paraphrases on them, and I can put them where I want to in the paper. So for example, that one you'll see gets a little check mark on it because I put it in my hook. I thought it'd be a great lead in. Something on cyberbullying, I might want to put this one underneath here. And you can kind of play with it as you move along. You'll want to give different titles to it so that they match with your outline. But what's nice is like if I decide that I don't like this quote here, but I still really like this quote, well, I can move it somewhere else. I can throw it into online predators. Whatever it is I want to do with it, I can move it around and then I can still print it out. I can also print out my note cards. Once again, I do suggest you do export to Word as an RTF because then what's cool is you can tweak it and make it look nice for your teacher, put your MLA header and all that stuff on it. All right, so that's the note card component. Now, if I go back to my dashboard again, I'm going to use my little breadcrumbs at the top of the page. You'll see I also, in addition to having my work cited, which is right here, and again, you just choose your citation type and you go through and pick things out. Most of the time you'll probably be copying and pasting those ones from the databases, but if you need help like making one for a book, then you might want to go through and create the citation using that. This can be kind of a helpful guide. You can also open up a paper in Google Docs. So if you click on this and you wait a second, what it'll do is it'll attach to your Google account. So if you have a Gmail account already, it'll attach to it. You'll just say grant access. And then boom, here I have something titled my Opposing Viewpoints research paper. And every time that I go in, it's going to attach, and you'll see I have this one for Joe Student. It'll attach to this document in my Gmail account. So I'll be able to always click in here in my NoodleTools, keep everything in one place, including my to-do list, my works cited, my note cards, my outline, and my paper, in addition to things like my thesis statement. So NoodleTools can be very, very helpful. It'll just take a couple minutes for you to create your own account for it. If you have questions about it, please feel free to visit me in the Media Center. I'm more than happy to help you work through this, and hopefully I'll be able to stop by your class and see how you guys are doing. And yeah, again, so this is Miss Wismar just signing off. Please let me know if you have any questions in regard to it, and I hope it comes in handy for you. Thanks.